In today's video, we're going to take a look at the Taotronics BA014 Bluetooth transmitter receiver. Okay, in the box we have a user's guide, multilingual. We have the Taotronics thank you card, which offers you 18-month extended warranty and customer support numbers. We have an optical cable that is approximately 40 inches in length with the little end caps on there to keep it clean. A micro to full-size USB cord for charging. This is approximately 2 feet in length. We have our audio connect cords here. This is a auxiliary 3.5 millimeter to 3.5 millimeter cord, and then we have the 3.5 millimeter female to RCA male adapter. Both these together are approximately 34 inches in length, and then last but not least, the device itself. Okay, so this is a pretty compact little device here. I really like it. It's self-contained, meaning that it has a built-in battery inside. This has an advertised runtime of 25 hours, and in real life, I average about 17 hours on this. Physical dimensions are as follows: 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches, approximately 3/4 of an inch thick. And on the top here, and this is it's actually a really pretty device here, but it's so shiny it's kind of hard to film, so I'll do the best I can here. Okay, so we have indicator lights underneath here, and on this side we have a receive indicator light, a transmit indicator light, and bypass, optical and auxiliary. This shows it whether it's using optical or auxiliary on both transmit and receive. aptX X, low latency, HD indicator, and A and B indicator for paired devices. Over here in the corner we have very soft push button buttons here, and this is a pairing button, so you tap this twice to pair. This button here toggles it between optical and auxiliary input, and then we have volume down and volume up. On the side of the unit we have DC input. This is basically a charge port. It does not pass audio. This is our master on and off switch. Over here on the side we have a mode switch for transmit, bypass, and receive. On the back we have our auxiliary input or our audio input, optical output, and audio output. And an antenna that is adjustable, and it will stand up straight or fold back, which kind of gives us options for mounting. Okay, on the bottom we have all of its ID information, and this area right here is a rubberized piece so it doesn't slide around on your table or device. First off, let's start with Bluetooth receiver. This is an excellent Bluetooth receiver. This is Bluetooth 5.0, and it is low latency. It has an advertised range of 164 feet. Now that's open air line of sight. I get, in real world use in my home, I get 40 feet, and that's going through 3 rooms. That would be a front room, a dining room, a bathroom, and all the way back into my bedroom to the back of the house. So that's pretty impressive. I really don't get any picket fencing at that kind of range and going through several walls, so it works out pretty good. I can also, I can get down into my basement a little bit with my phone, and yeah, it does pretty good. Pretty good range overall. Okay, this works really well with Apple product and with Android product. I had no issues at all using the Apple AAC codec. It worked really well. Has a very good audio quality. Yeah, it's Bluetooth 5.0, so it's going to sound pretty good. I think overall it had a pretty natural sound. The lows were not overextended. Mid ranges in this was not too bright and forward, and the high frequencies sounded very smooth. I really like the sound characteristic of this piece. Okay, there is something that I would like to see a little improvement on, but that's fairly common with pieces like this. You know, understand, this is not really a high-end piece. This is not a low-end piece. I would call this just a mid-range transceiver. And I say that because they only offer us auxiliary output connections here. I don't have any sort of RCA preamp level output. So what that means is I'm not going to get the standardized full 2-volt RMS output like you will on some of the higher end units that I test. So what I mean by that is say, let's compare this to your CD player or DVD that's plugged into your stereo receiver. You're going to get a certain output level coming from that, which is a standard 2-volt RMS output going into your receiver. So say your music's kind of loud at your volume control on your stereo set at maybe like 9 o'clock, and you have a certain loudness to it. This here, because it doesn't have quite the drive or the standard 2-volt RMS drive, to reach that same volume you would have at your CD at 9 o'clock, you're going to have to turn your volume control up to maybe about 11 o'clock, 10 or 11 o'clock, for this to equal the same output level as a standard device. No real big deal if you don't mind that. It doesn't harm the audio or anything like that. Just understand this is just a tad low. And I think that's really about the only complaint I have. But like I say, it's pretty common with units like this. Very clean sound overall, very nice. I would like to see a little bit more preamp output level on this. Now, a neat thing about this is, and I was just playing around with this when I was in testing, I plugged my Audio-Technica headphones into here. They're wired headphones. They're at approximately 47 ohms. So they're a low impedance headphone, so that means they're very efficient. That worked really well with this piece. And what I did is I actually used the positive and negative setting here as a volume control on my headphones, and it worked really well. Had a great sound, of course, and yeah, it made it kind of nice. Why would I do that? Well, I don't know. You know, if you have an Apple product without a 3.5 millimeter output jack for earphones or headphones, you could transmit from that device to this via Bluetooth, plug your wired headphones in the back, and listen to it that way. Some of you guys, or some people out there, have, you know, some pretty nice headphones, and that's a nice way to make use of that. So I think that's kind of an unintended use, but I just wanted to let you guys know that you can do that. Okay, let's talk about the transmitter. Transmitter section is just phenomenal in this thing. Like I said, it was rated at 164 feet. They didn't specify if that was transmit or receive. I'm going to assume it probably is both. So in transmit mode, this covered my whole house without a problem. I could actually even go downstairs and listen to my Bluetooth speakers, and it worked out really well. Let's see here. I like the fact that you can pair two Bluetooth speakers to this. This is the A and B indicator right here. So you can do two Bluetooth speakers with, now, and this depends on what speakers you're using, you know, because some have more of a latency issue than others. But with these two speakers, I can use these simultaneously and not have too bad of a latency issue or an echo effect between the two. So with this in transmit mode, you can pair it to two speakers or two sets of headphones, or a speaker and a headphone. So it makes it really super flexible. And I used this for many things in the testing process of this. I plugged the my LG TV into this via optical and used this to transmit to my Bluetooth speaker. I could walk around the house and really not miss out on the dialogue on what I was watching. You can also pair this to your headphones and listen to your whatever you're watching on TV in privacy. And like I say, it'll go on two different headphones as well. So I really like that. Very low latency. Lip sync was excellent. And I was using my Sony Bluetooth headphones, my Micus SR71 headphones and my Taotronics headphones. I'll leave links to all that stuff down below. So I was really impressed. So great range, very, very ultra low latency, and extremely good audio quality. A feature that I forgot about is that you can use this. You have this little bypass switch here, so you can bypass this. And what you can do by using that is, let's say you want to put this in line and use this as a handshake, or use this between two devices. For instance, you have your TV over here, you have optical input from your TV to here, and then you can take an optical cable and go from here out to an outboard DAC, or maybe a built-in DAC in your home theater receiver, and you do not have to take this out of line. So that's kind of nice. You don't have to switch cables around. Same thing for auxiliary ins and outs too. So not really a big deal, but it is kind of nice. Okay. Let's see here. Let me look at my sheet and see if there's anything else I forgot. Oh, sound quality. So I'm starting to rate these Bluetooth devices from 1 to 10 on sound quality. I'm going to give this an 8 on both transmit and receive. It has a very good sound to it. I'm really impressed with the sound. This comes in at, what was this, $44 on Amazon, and that price will fluctuate a few dollars here or there, just depending on Amazon's mood. And speaking of Amazon, this was actually suggested to me by Amazon. So as you guys know, I'm an Amazon influencer. So whenever you guys click on a link to buy one of these products that I review, and as a side note, this was bought with my own money. This did not come as a freebie to me or anything, so I can give it an unbiased review. Anyway, they send you emails and they say, hey, try this. You know, this is a suggested product to try. 9 out of 10 times they send me a suggestion to try, well, really a very crappy product. Most of the time, the products are not all that good. However, when I got the email for this Taotronics, I'm like, oh, I know Taotronics because I have several of their Bluetooth devices, and I like them. It's been a good brand overall. So I thought, well, what the heck, I'll order it. So I purchased this with money that was generated from the channel. I'm very happy I did. This one's going to be a keeper. I really like this unit, and yeah, I'll leave a link to this down below. So again, when you guys purchase something via an Amazon link from this channel, I do get a small commission, and that's how I buy these products, so I can bring these to you in an unbiased review. All right, good deal. So let's see, this is an 8 on sound quality, 40-foot average distance. Like I say, I'm pretty impressed with that because I can go all over the house with it and into my yard. Oh, really quick, as a side note, you guys know I'm kind of a radio geek, and what I like to do, this is another thing I do in testing Bluetooth devices, and I do this quite a bit. I plug this end into the transmitter, I plug this end into my shortwave ham radio or my Sangean WR2 AM/FM tabletop receiver. I set this up on top of those devices. I pair a Bluetooth speaker, just a random speaker. I have speakers galore here. And what I like to do is I tune my radio in to a channel that I really like, and then I can put this in my pocket or whatever, and I can carry this around in the yard. I can, you know, basically get work done and still not miss out on my favorite stuff. And then I don't have to, you know, really worry about taking a radio outside with me or anything like this. I usually use water resistant speakers, so I don't mind if this maybe gets wet, if I'm out working in the yard, sprinkler hits it or something, or if I get a little dirt or dust in here, it's usually not a big deal. But that's how I come up with my transmit range tests and find out just how good they are. So I like to try to push them to the limit. Speaking of range tests, by popular demand, I have some range test videos coming up, and these are going to be kind of fun. This will be included, probably one of the first units that I actually go outside and range test. I'm really excited to put this up against the Micus RTX 2.0, which has been a phenomenal piece of gear. I get 411 feet out of this puppy in line of sight open air testing. That is old school Bluetooth. This is 5.0, so I'm thinking this is going to do pretty darn good. All right, thanks for watching. Please leave questions or comments down below.